Hello and welcome to another CAD clip on AutoCAD 2007 3D. In this lesson we're going to talk a little bit more about the sweep tool, which we can see up here on our dashboard under our 3D make, and a couple things that go with it. And I'm just going to start by getting kind of cute here and inserting an image of my baby bun. So I'm going to bring her in here, plop it on there as a billboard, and then I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to use my move command, and I'm going to grab that and I'm going to move it out by a smidgen off the surface. And you see how you can move stuff in 3D while in perspective mode, which is like, oh, move that up. Maybe I just want to use my 3D move command or use this tool up in here. Okay, so my point being is that we're going to use the sweep tool. Now, one of the best ways I find when people ask me, how do you do a sweep, well, how do you get the polyline to do that edge sweep? Well, one thing is, what I usually do is I just, literally type PL for polyline, and then I'll go around and click on that. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is check my settings in my OSnap, and I'm going to just turn everything off except for endpoint. And then I'm going to just use a polyline tool, and then I can go endpoint to endpoint around there. Now let's just have a look. Those are the same or have been joined together. Let me go to wireframe here just in case. I'm going to trying to get a polyline around here and then do a sweep. So I'm going to type PL for polyline. There we go. So that's the quickest way. Someone says, how do you get a polyline to go around there to do your sweep? And then we go in here and we say sweep. And then we pick this, enter, and then we pick this as our path, and then we get our sweep, and we can do our sweep that way. And that was based on Centroid, and you can review our other sweep tool as different ways to change the base point of that profile. So there is just drawing a polyline. Now what if the polyline jogs around? Okay, I'm going to go back to my wireframe because that seemed to be successful. I'm going to click on here and erase that. I'm going to use not just a polyline, I'm going to do a 3D polyline. Watch. 3D poly on the keyboard, enter, and now watch, I can start and I can do a 3D polyline because in general, I'm typing END here to get that END, and it doesn't seem to be. There we go. Sometimes I have to type END, so you can just continue along wherever you want to go and then hit enter. That is now a 3D polyline. Okay, regular polylines only fit on one plane. If I take that 3D polyline and move it over there, okay, I've got a weird, you can see I've got a problem with that. I'm wondering if I can just use my grips, my object snap to bring that down. Okay, let's try moving it back and see if I can fix this. Endpoint of here to endpoint of there. Okay, I'm going to take that grip and I'm going to move it to that endpoint. See how great 3D polylines are? Okay. Okay, and then you can use your last. Watch, M for move, L for last, enter. Okay, and then I can shift middle mouse button while I move that over just to kind of see if I got it right. Looks good. I'm going to hit escape, shift middle mouse button, go back over here. The main thing is I have now a 3D polyline. Now I can do my sweep again. Sweep, pick my circle or whatever profile I want, hit enter. I can change my base point and my alignment and all that good stuff. Okay, and all I'm going to do is hover over here and click on there, and I've got my sweep. I go back to my profile here, and then maybe I'm going to use my paint option and paint it blue or something like that. Oh, didn't want to paint. Let's go back in here and just pick a color off of here just so it stands out a little bit. And there we have that. Now the interesting thing is, once that's been swept, I can actually grip this and change it. Okay. Now you have to be careful on how the baseline was, and I'm obviously getting a little bit careless here, but the fact is, once you create that, sweep, you can grip on it, you can move it around all over the place. Okay, I'm going to erase that. And then the last option I have, if you want to create a sweep around an edge, and basically we're talking about getting sweeps around the edges of our existing solid models. I'm going to go back and click on there and erase that 3D polyline. Remember, 3D poly is the command, and you might have to be careful with your snaps. You have to make sure you get your snaps, and I generally have all my O snaps turned on. You might want to just thin it down to 1. The other option is to use the copy face tool. If I right click on here and go to my solid editing, I might want to go down, and depending on how complicated that is, again, I'm trying to get a polyline to do the sweep, because you cannot just sweep along the edge of a solid. So I need a polyline or a 3D polyline, as we've just learned. So I can also go in here and say copy face, and I can hover over here and hit enter, and then I can maybe pick a point and copy that face from there to there. Okay, then I can maybe explode this, or I can trace this, or do whatever I want with this particular object. Okay, I can now draw a polyline, and trace this around. You have to get creative, do whatever you want, and then move it, from here back to here type of thing, and then go and do my sweep. Sweep this, enter around this polyline right here, and then we get our sweep that way. Okay, so use copy face if you want. Copy face, we have a specific tutorial on that where I can go in and pick a face like this and hit enter, and then copy that over to here. Okay, that's a region. Hit escape to get out of that command. I can explode that, I can trace it, I can extrude it, I can do a bunch of things with the copy face tool, or I can just explode it, for instance, and then now I have an edge that I can use and then copy that back perchance, okay, to get the sweep. So we're talking about the sweep and a couple of different ways of getting the polyline that you want to do the sweep with.